My name's Alex Bromley-Martin from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company Assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning. My name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I'm a football player for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supply League match official for the best part of 30 years and I'm an experienced football administrator.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm currently an FA observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy. I'm also a retired referee.
Hi, my name is Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England, currently in Gloucestershire, and have refereed from grassroots through to professional academies.
My name is Chloe Morgan and I'm a goalkeeper for Crystal Palace Women.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and am now a senior county referee.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Alex. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So we see two players in shot. The player in yellow looks to me like he's on the ground and he's looking up. He's slightly craning his head to his right-hand side, looking up to the ball. And the player in red and white is in the air. He's one leg's up and his arms are in what looks like a strange position to me, but it looks like a header that I think he might well have played. We can't see the pupil in this white eye, but I think it's one of those where the ball's coming in and he's sort of flicking it on. Anyway, so I will draw some lines up from this player. As I said, we can see a lot white of as an eye, but there's quite a tight cluster up through Liam's there and up there through to Kieran. And then from this player in yellow, we've got two good eyes, again, up through Kieran here on the right. And again, through Liam and a few others to the left. So we've got quite a tight cluster. I've gone slightly lower than everybody because I just thought with this player's expression and his arm, it was imminent. But I'll go straight to you, Alain. I'll highlight your cross. You're sort of right in the centre of our cluster, and be interesting to hear what an ex-professional footballer makes of this shot and what's happening. There you go. If I highlight the this calculated average, you see yours is the cross closest to it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Matt. I think, the ball is coming, is dropping, is coming, from the left. The play in red and white, I don't think he's at the top of his jump. I think he's more on his way up, actually, than on his way down. And I think for me, he's trying to intercept the ball before he reaches the player in yellow. So I think looking at his eye, as you mentioned, we can't really see. We can see some whites, but I think it's the side of his eye is looking quite steeply, and also he's frowning. But I tried to go with I tried to draw a line perpendicular to his pupil, and the player in yellow, I think, is looking over his right shoulder. Quite steeply also, and where these two eye lines meet up, this is where I thought the center of the ball was.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Nigel, I'll highlight yours here. Yours yellow. You're just to the left of Alain's. There you go. How did you see this? And did you see anything different? Or
I did see it similar to Alan. I feel the player's on the rise. I think he's pulled his head back to head the ball as it comes towards him. So I feel he's just prior to making that connection, ball's dropping towards him. The yellow's leaning in towards the ball, but lower down and looking across the red shoulder. So yeah, that's basically how I've seen it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Liam, I'll come to you next. You're highlighted in blue. You're on the sort of same level horizontally as myself. How did you see this and what was happening?
I took most of my, I looked at the yellow player first of all, to be honest, Matt. I looked at getting his sort of eye line, what I felt to be his eye line, looking through the centre of the ball, correct. And then I went for, you can't get too. The information I got from the red player, as you said, was about he's in the air. I felt he's about to head the ball, and I went on that because you can't see his pupil. So I went for where proximity. I felt he was about to head the ball. His neck wasn't extended, and I just felt that's where it sat right for me.
Yeah, as Alan said, he's on the way up, and it's one of those ones where your arms up, and then at last minute to get power, you pull them back to complete the header. But I mean that's just my look on this. Chloe, you're just here in the middle again, to the right of Alain. I'll again highlight yours. How have you seen this?
Yep, very similarly to everyone else, and just touching on what you said there, Matt. I think he is almost at full height, but I think just in the position of his arms, it looks like he's just maybe a second or so away from heading the ball and bringing his arms back to power through.
Yeah.
I think is obviously his face is quite tense, so the ball is going to come down very, very quickly. And I had it dropping down at quite a steep angle, but again, diagonally, I suppose, towards the left-hand side of the picture. But again, not too much to add from what's been said.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And Kieran, highlighting yours, you're just ever so slightly to the right. You're just past my sort of choice on the vertical. How did you see the picture and what was happening?
Yes, thanks, Matt. I just felt the player in red and white is, although he's going up in the jump, I think he's leaning backwards. His back is arched backwards, and I just felt he was straining to get the ball. I felt that he was going back in towards the player in yellow, and because the player in yellow is also looking very steeply, I thought possibly the ball was just above his head and that he might be struggling to get a proper header on the ball. I thought maybe he was just going up and trying to reach the ball. His brow is furrowed, and I just felt he was looking more steeply upwards.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, obviously, we don't know the position of the pitch of where the players are, and as we all know, a forward may go up there and just literally get a little feather touch on it to move it past the defender and onto another player. Or, as you said, it just might be the wind might have caught the ball. But it's all sort of supposition and looking at the body language. That's interesting to see. His back is arched, as you said. He might be straining to get to the ball. So, thank you, Matthew. You're here. You're just ever so slightly at the top of everybody's. How did you see the photo?
Yeah, similar to Kieran, I think I've gone it for a slightly higher trajectory on it. I just think that for the player in red and white, his eyes are looking quite high up. I don't see it too much towards the left-hand side. So I've gone a little bit higher. I think he's still not at the top of his jump. He's still got quite a pivot to go to head that ball. So I just don't have the ball as imminent, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hugh, I'll highlight yours. Yours is the blue cross here, just up here, ever so slightly to the left of everybody's. How did you see the picture and what was happening?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, not too dissimilar to what's been said. Just for me, I agree. I don't think he's at the top of his jump yet. And I think he's still got the kind of head movement to play it. So I felt between the ball dropping slightly and him rising and meeting it, there was still a little distance. But kind of as has been said, took the lines from the yellow player and the red and just felt, it would be that touch over to the left, given that it's going to drop kind of across the screen over to the right and he's going to meet it.
Yeah, thank you. And I've left the last two. There's Rene's here and Leo's here that are really just sort of really on top of each other. And as both of you as footballers, I'd love to hear your version of what's happening here. Rene, take yours first. It's highlighted there. as I said, just behind or next to Leo's. How did you see this?
Yeah, pretty similar to everybody else, to be honest. I think the player in red and white, as people said, is not at the top of his jump. I actually think he's going to try and head the ball or flick it over to the right, just because his body positioned is twisted slightly to the left. I think he's going to swing his arm back and then sort of fling his body round to the right, to try and head it in that direction, sort of over the player in yellow's head. And then I'll just cross-reference the eyes of the player in yellow, because they are clear eyes, and I think they are looking quite a lot over to the left of the picture. So that's why I put my cross there.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. And lastly, but not least, Leo, there, you're just as I said, right next to Rene's. I'm sure you've been in a tussle like this before in your career. So how did you see this?
I used to lose those tussles, Matt.
Did you?
Yeah, no, I think the player in red is going to head the ball, obviously. I think he's straining to get to the ball. So I think he's sort of changed his body position just at the very last moment, just to try and reach himself to get to the ball. So
yeah.
So I just think he's straining to get to it. And with the player in yellow, I took a little bit from his eye line, but obviously the player in red's going to head the ball.
Yeah, so you're readjusting your position, and Rene's powering the header exactly where she wants it to go. So that's great. Okay, so thank you for all your input on this. If I highlight over the top, said near Alan's is, and this is the white cross, which takes all of our choices into consideration. As you see, it's perfectly encompassed within the magnifier. I think it's a brilliant judging today, guys. And I think we will judge with all of us, all our choices involved, which, as I said, was in the magnifier. But just to confirm that, if I can go through and just see if you're all happy with that. Rene?
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Nigel?
Happy with that. Thanks, Matt.
Great. Thanks. Liam?
Yeah, 100%.
Great. Thank you. Matthew?
Yes, happy with that.
Chloe?
Yep, happy with that.
Thank you. Kieran?
Yes, happy with that.
Hugh?
Yep, happy.
Alain?
Yes, happy with that.
Lovely. And lastly, Leo?
Yes, happy with that.
Okay, that's great. So after a really good discussion, Alex, and an explanation of what's happening in the photograph, we've decided to move forward with this calculated average with all of our 10 choices taken into consideration.
Thank you. If you're all happy, then please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are X1874, Y935. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.